don't get any numbers at all. This could be like a preview of that for right now. You got no numbers here.
Yes.
See what
no numbers for the chat either. So yeah, that's fun. So let's see if they get any help in the throne room anyways, depending on what the stats are. We can maybe take a peek if they look at their status screens, and we'll see what's going on in the throne room.
I have tracked down the seed number for you all.
Okay. 16-8's not a bad start. Silver Harp's nice to have too, because when you find that cave to trade that in, you don't have to double back to it.
17 strength, 7 agility, so they should be able to get started pretty quickly, even though they only have the stop spell to work with. Interesting to note that VaeluV did not start with hand axe money, and muchParanoia did. So if there happens to be a town close by, they could muchParanoia might be able to get a quick upgrade. But with 17 strength, neither runner seems to be worried about that. Just looking for some early enemies to get off level 1.
Yeah, ooh, I was just thinking you might be able to go after a scorpion, but never mind. They breathe fire. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. Hey, how about that, Paranoia? Nice little excellent move on your side, huh? You can go after a scorpion, it looks like.
It's okay. I think I get it. I think I get immediately torched by the next.
Yeah, it's funny when it's like, oh, this is a good enemy. Here we go. And then wait for it.
Yeah, it looks like you're having good. I mean, you did 7 and 5 to it. If they didn't have the breath, those would have been really nice to just go after really fast. So don't blame me for going
That's
for it.
funny
That's funny
too, because oftentimes 12 hit points is enough to take down a scorpion. I think it had max HP that time and just waited for the last possible moment to give muchParanoia the bad news. Just 1 experience point short of level 3, and that would have jumped you almost up to level 4, but unfortunately back to the castle. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but got the 1, and ooh, VaeluV found what should have been a nice magician down in the mountains and couldn't quite get it. Looks like an annoying little dodge at the end there. Oh, I see some swamp over to the west. Looked like you guys might have been swamp locked, maybe?
Oh no, we were definitely swamp locked.
Yeah, I see it over there in the corner, and I couldn't see if there was a path out, but there's no path out, is there?
Nope.
So
that's why I was not particularly concerned.
VaeluV seemed to be trying to decide whether or not these foothills down here are still in zone 0. He kind of went back and forth, went up to the plains, and then kind of back down. muchParanoia is kind of exploring the outskirts here and ends up in a totally random zone to the northwest with a wolf lord. So these zones are kind of skewed to the south here, and so those foothills would come into play. You can go down there to grind zone 0 enemies. VaeluV just not quite sure, so he's sticking with the plains right now. The foothills are about 3 times better of an encounter rate than the plains tiles. So if they want to get some quick kills, they might want to go down in that direction. But the last experience point required for level 2 was just picked up by VaeluV, so we got some progress made now. Level 2 for both runners.
So yeah, that's why I wasn't particularly concerned with keeping that early gold. I saw what we were boxed in with and realized that gold was not going to last. It was going to go very fast.
Yeah, and I guess, with the 17 strength starting out, I think the gold is less of a priority. If you were really having trouble killing any of these monsters, then I guess it would be more like, well, let's see if we can go find a town. But yeah, right now you guys are doing fine. Plenty of monsters can be defeated. Although that scorpion does keep popping up, and that's kind of an issue. Seems to be sending you guys home a few times here. We seem to be at the very bottom edge of the map also, so there won't be a south zone really to look for, but I think if you go slightly north, the north and the south zones are the same, so you could get some extra monsters here. But the primary zone is right on the southern coastline here. Another scorpion death for VaeluV, so that enemy has been unkind so far.
And I'm going to assume you liked what you saw at level 3 there, muchParanoia.
Oh, yes.
You got 23 strength, and now those scorpions, they're not going to get a chance to baby breath you, are they?
Oh no, they die real fast now.
Nice. Any thought as far as maybe casting repel so you don't run into that blue slime here and there? You have 8 defense power, so you wouldn't be repelling very many monsters. But you might want to keep the really weak ones away while you're grinding some of these monsters, but no big deal. And we're in the corner of the map as seen on the west coast here. The west zone is available as seen by this Drakima. But yeah, we're down in the corner of the map, and you have to go north through this swamp to get anywhere.
Another thing that popped up right there too is I don't know if you'd want to, but you still have low HP, it looks like, but you did get a lot of max HP, so you could make that trek to the swamp. I guess technically you weren't swamp locked before, but you'd take you to like 2 or 4 HP, and you wouldn't make it last long afterwards. Now, if you chose to, you could go out, although probably worth sticking around for a few more levels, especially with those scorpions being easy.
But yeah, just ran into a Drakey as well, and there are blue slimes. Just curious if the repel spell crossed your mind, although usually when you cast repel, you're kind of way out looking for really strong monsters, so it's kind of an unusual play. But it looks like you are feasting on Drakeemas here, and VaeluV finally does make it to level 3 now, so muchParanoia clearly with the early lead, closing in on level 5.
Value making sure that mountain doesn't cast any spells ever. I prefer Hurtmoring the mountains, but stop spell works.
Yeah, a little bit on the low end for MP until you get the level 4 increase that muchParanoia just got, and level 5 yields Hurtmore. Here we go, guys.
And then I walk into the swamp and immediately.
Yeah, that's not bad though. Actually, you get a nice little refill there because you want all your MP back and your HP back. So, yeah, I like the idea though. You've got 51 strength. You've got Hurtmore. You can do some damage out there in the world. Yeah, I think it's even though you have no healing, I think it's definitely time to get out there and see what you can see.
And VaeluV does the identical refill in the swamp, but he's still only on level 4. So, but he did get a pretty big MP boost on level 4. So if there were enemies to stop spell or anything of that nature, he'd have plenty of MP to work with. But he's going to go exploring not yet on the Hurtmore level. This could be a much more difficult task than it is for muchParanoia, who finds a knight, which is like the perfect enemy to get to level 6.
Oh man, yeah, there's nothing better than seeing knights, magic wyverns, rogue scorpions right after you get Hurtmore. Those things are not lasting long against Hurtmore. Ooh, look what Vale has in the corner there, though.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tricky spot to get to. Doesn't have enough HP to get there, but it is accessible at this point with the 47 max HP, assuming you don't take any other damage along the way except swamp damage. So see if he wants to try and get back over there. Doesn't really have any of that gold left from the early gold chest, unfortunately. So even if he made it to that town, he wouldn't be able to purchase too much upgrades right now, but he's going to really need to get to level 5 quickly, or muchParanoia is going to run away with this lead here. He's Hurtmoring everything in sight.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, once you get Hurtmore the countryside, right? But yeah, once Vale gets his level 5 and gets Hurtmore, you're going to see a lot of experience on his side too. That's just the effect of Hurtmore, right?
So what do you think about this? He's fighting a skeleton, but that might put him into a situation where he once again can't get to the town. But yeah, we know that actually fighting these skeletons is priority. Oh, but more baby breath is so that enemy is not as nice as it first appeared.
I'm pretty sure this Demon Knight sends me. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, Demon Knight, one of the enemies you don't really want to see when you have Hurtmore, and your agility score is reasonable, so you could have gotten away from that enemy, but that time, not so lucky.
Yeah, Demon Knights are the worst to see when you can't Hurtmore them. They tend to run block, at least me, a lot, and they have more strength than you think. Whoa, there's an armored knight right outside the castle.
AK-47.
That's not very kind.
How have we not seen that yet? That's
I think I never saw that enemy the entire time.
So it's always funny to see what your opponent kind of ran into while you were busy doing what you're doing. So he might have had a little bit tough luck with the encounters over here, and he's decided he's going to just grind now again, going south into the foothills, and you're busy Hurtmoring Axe Knights for 130 experience points. And another level up. So early lead for muchParanoia, starting to be a pretty significant lead. They both started with the Silver Harp, so we're going to want to acquire the Stones of Sunlight and the token to go along with that harp in order to eventually gain access to Charlotte Castle. But you haven't seen any other locations yet, muchParanoia, except for Tanticle Castle. And it's been a little bit of a ways out onto the map. So what are you thinking at that point when, you're powerful and you can fight things, but you haven't found anything yet?
the Armor Knights just showing up in force.
Yeah, right through that swamp you guys have to go through too. How about that? How about that for randomizer, right? Vale gets an armored knight through there, and you get a blue slime, man. You're living good.
And there's
nice.
the snowman.
And managed to block the Hurtmore spell. So nice heads up play. You started with the stop spell on level 1, so we have a good chance to use it here.
And now I show Snowman the meaning of petty vengeance.
Oh, the double Hurtmore! That's a nice aggressive play for 155. Very nicely done. I probably instinctively would have tried to run from the Stone Man, but stopping the spell and then taking it down with the double Hurtmore. And the droll will be enough for level 8 here already.
Yeah, but Vale's got his Hurtmore at this point, so he's going to be off and running. And he has seen that town. He knows where that town is. It's not far from the castle, which maybe is why he was fighting those skeletons earlier. So depending on what town it is, could be a way for him to catch back up.
So Ryguy, check out the stats for the Stone Man that we just saw. If he continues this strategy, this is pretty interesting because it is 75% to cast Hurtmore. So if you can stop that spell, and then it's only a 1 in 16 chance of actually resisting the stop spell. So you're going to land that almost every time, and then it's going to just like spam Hurtmore into the wind, not able to get through the blocked. Once the spell is blocked, you could potentially get a whole bunch of these early Stone Men here. This is pretty interesting from muchParanoia.
Yeah, I'm going to retroactively claim credit for this because I made the joke about 5 hours of Stone Man grind, and now the Stone Men actually look like they could be a good grind later on. So even though this race happened a week ago, I'm still going to take credit for that. That's commentator's blessing. You're welcome.
Nice. A little bit of time traveling involved or something, but meanwhile, VaeluV has gotten off the Schneid, and he Hurtmore's a Wolf Lord here for a quick level 7. So catching up on the level ups is VaeluV, and he's ventured out. We see a pair of caves over here, 3 caves in fact, and they're both kind of getting there at the same moment.
Oh, let them be Swamp North and Swamp South. Come on. We almost had this yesterday. Come on.
Tablet Cave on the north most, which VaeluV just nopes out. No light source yet. Didn't catch what that southern one was.
Maybe Mountain? Maybe?
Looks like it, yeah. North and South Bonk, so it doesn't want to, just wants to see what the other one is first. So VaeluV going with Swamp North instead of exploring Mountain Cave first, since he's on low resources. Maybe he wants to come back a little bit later to explore Mountain Cave. So right now he's going to just trek through North Swamp, see if it backs into Garenham, or see like where else it might lead, while muchParanoia appears to be going through Mountain Cave.
I thought that was Tablet Cave and got lost, and then eventually realized, oh hey, this is Mountain Cave. Why have I seen no encounter?
So Swamp Cave pops out right next to Sharlock, so that's kind of an easy thing to remember for the runners for the end game. Once all the items are acquired, Green Dragon unfortunately not able to be taken down with the Hurtmore. VaeluV back to the castle, but get some good information about the final dungeon there. Now, did VaeluV ever make it to that town, Ryguy? I completely missed on that.
No, I don't think he's gone back there, but he might want to now. Just get some herbs to go for his mountain dive and possibly go over to Swamp Continent. So he might have that on his mind now.
Yeah, that's a good point, is that they don't have any healing spells yet. So if you do get to that town with at least a couple hundred gold like he has now, getting a bunch of herbs actually might help quite a bit. And let's see if muchParanoia is continuing to progress through Mountain Cave.
Nope.
Completely out of resources.
As soon as I figured out it was Mountain Cave, I immediately hit it in. I have a theory. It's me thinking that, I figured that town was wrecked because I never found it.
You never found this cave, or this town. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, wow. And there's just nothing but caves to the east, so you're just going to go for like a while now without any herbs or, don't let us know when you're going to get a heal spell yet. But for right now, it's interesting to know that you never found this town that was right there. So ValuV is going to stock up. He's going to get a dragon scale and a bunch of herbs, maybe some torches to explore that tablet cave that he noped out of earlier. and maybe going to check the shop for a weapon upgrade. So here we go.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that because I think earlier in muchParanoia, I saw you went a little left towards that swamp, and then kind of were like, nah, there's nothing over there, and I saw you turn back over the right. And I was wondering if you ever found that town, and if you didn't, that meant it probably was Brecconary. So we make fun of Brecconary, but actually VaeluV here is going to get some herbs, and yeah, like you said, maybe like a club or something like that. It's something anyway, better than it usually is, but certainly not essential.
And they did pick up the repel spell relatively early, so probably not going to take advantage of the open fairy water shop. That's been a recent upgrade to the most recent version of Randomizer 2.1.2. They no longer have to spend a key to get into the fairy water shop here. And got some weapon and armor upgrades there. What would we have here? Leather armor, did I see?
Yeah, I think I just saw the leather armor, which, that'll give you 4 defense, sure.
No affordable weapons, though. I just kind of missed it. But weapons not a big concern when you have hurt more, so we'll give him credit for the leather armor, give him a little bit of defensive upgrade, and just move on with the hurt more spell. He's got a bunch of herbs now, maybe to tackle that mountain cave.
Yeah, like you mentioned, they need the Stones of Sunlight and the token along with their silver harp to make the rainbow drop to get into Charlock. So they're going to want to search the mountain cave to look for like the Stones of Sunlight. Of course, we might want to have a death necklace or fighter's ring, which aren't really essential, but there's that Erdrick sword out there too, which you need for the end game. We have Hurtmore, so I don't know if we need to get the sword right away, but I mean, we take it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you have to continue looking in treasure chests for the sword, even if you get all the quest items. It's very rare to not need the sword, so VaeluV does pick up level 8 on the Wyvern here. It's a nice little zone right near these cave entrances. Looks like muchParanoia, I think, went through Swamp Cave and is now on the second continent. And we are going to have a tablet cave exploration from VaeluV since he was able to pick up those torches in Brecconary. So see what's going on here.
And I think this is the part where, oh, hello there, Golem. This is the part where I just start running from everything, because I would rather just explore. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you're still not using the repel spell. Looks like a ghost just popped up there, so little easier to not get totally bombarded from enemies with that. But you do have a town here, so this is your first town that you've seen, and it's pretty far away.
I did not care about that at the moment. I was just like, get out of my way.
Some pretty good hurt moreable enemies you're running into, Magiwyvern and Wolf, and a couple others along the way. So you're getting closer to level 10, while VaeluV is not gaining experience en route to the chest in the tablet cave here. This seems to be taking a while to come in and out. Did you catch what that was that he found there, Ragai?
Yeah, tablet cave with some wings, so he's gonna probably hop over to mountain and hope for a better haul than that.
Yeah, still has a pile of herbs to work with, and unless it's really nasty in here, should be able to get through this dungeon with those herbs. Uses another torch here, so we can follow his progress through, see if he gets to any of these chests. Ooh, the knight with the ambush and the Dragonlord breath, it's unfortunate because that's a nice hurt moreable enemy, but if you get ambushed, you don't get a chance to get that turn. Interesting to note, he does have 78 max HP, but he was not topped off there. And the Dragonlord breath was enough to take him down in that case. So what do you do here as VaeluV? Do you go get more herbs? It's a little bit of a side trip over to Brecconary. I think he's used about half of his herbs. Or do you try and just go back in there and just make sure that you're topped off in case that happens again? Or do you go and look around elsewhere?
I mean, personally, I think I'd go right back into Mountain Cave. It's not that far away. Like, to me, that night ambush is annoying, but how often are they going to ambush me? If they don't ambush me, I just hurt more of them away, and I don't really care. Yeah, and I think he can get through Mountain with 3 herbs, so I think I'd go try it at least one more time.
Yep, I agree with you.
Can we pull up the night stats?
I want to check out the stats. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to see how often that Dragon Breath came.
Oh, did you never see the Dragonlord breath? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure if I ever did or not.
Yeah. So,
I think
it's
maybe
50-50.
I think the only night I saw was when I hurt more. or the
Yeah.
one that
Oh,
killed
okay.
me earlier.
Yeah, and like Ryguy was saying, if you don't, if he doesn't ambush you, then you may never see it. So 50-50 to go with the Dragon Lord Breath. Has an emergency heal there at 25% as well, but that's not going to help him very much if you're using Hurt more. VaeluV is on the second floor Mountain Cave now, and gets another set of wings to go with the Death Necklace. And we have some pretty good HP progression already, so maybe that'll come into play later. Although the strength score has been doing pretty well as well. For these levels, these are actually some pretty good stats, Ryguy.
Yeah, the strength is pretty solid at 67 over on muchParanoia's side, and 78 HP. You're pretty happy with that.
Oh, there's a key found in the fourth chest there in Mountain Cave. So VaeluV has keys now and could potentially take a Death Warp here. I didn't catch if there was anything really good in the Breckenary shop, but that's pretty close by if he wants to. Maybe if there's a gold grind available, we don't know yet, but a lot of things are happening for VaeluV here.
Holy cow, and while Vale was finding the key, muchParanoia, you just got apparently all the stats on level 10. I missed the level, but apparently all your numbers are much bigger than they were a second ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so as he mentioned, maybe not a very long grind required in this one. We're getting stats pretty quickly. And oh, look what we have here. muchParanoia also is going to have keys as he finds Rimuldar, the more traditional ways to get your first key. So making the trek along the outside, I think he's got plenty of gold to work with, so it's going to get a pile of keys here. VaeluV, what just happened there? He did not go... He didn't use that key that he just found. I think he just realized it. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
But unfortunately, that means that his gold grind is no longer in effect because he exited the castle. If he has at least a couple of hundred gold, he should go to the key shop first instead of using the key on the but wait. Oh, he's going to pop in and out of here just in case the grave happens to be in the basement. But all right, yeah, so he'll go grab a few more keys, and then we'll see what's in the treasury.
Yeah, I don't remember anything really big being in Breckenary. Maybe there was some mid-level gear. But he will get, like you said, another chance to gold grind out of the grave. Maybe by then he'll have seen more towns and have some sort of idea. I did see over on muchParanoia's side that Cantlin had the silver shield, and you do have to go through through Swamp Cave and go a little north to get there. But you could probably make it there on the later levels if you really, really needed to.
Okay, and he upgrades to the hand axe in the Rimuldar weapon shop, and already had the small shield from earlier, so gonna make another trip around to just make sure he's got enough keys. Missed what was in the chest in Rimuldar here, using 2 keys to get that. What was it?
It was just gold.
Okay, so the gold available, maybe that's allowed you to get that hand axe. I'm not sure. Maybe you had enough already, but magic armor would be there for later as well. But if you already found Cantlin, there's probably plenty to choose from over there. And there's the Stones of Sunlight for VaeluV in the treasury. I think there was gold in the treasury as well. So unfortunately for him, he missed the opportunity for an early gold grind. But Ryguy, as you mentioned, if there wasn't anything really good in the Breckenary weapon shop, then he wouldn't really have much reason to grind anyways. And he's completely blocked by this guard. Just can't get out. He doesn't even have the return spell. He has that one set of wings, right? Or he has 2 sets of wings. He should just be... Oh, this is hilarious. Just can't get out of this situation. The guard is just very upset that he has stolen the goods from the treasury.
Oh, look over there, muchParanoia. I bet you're really happy right now. You're seeing red dragons with hurt and heal. That's got to make you, even though you're not maybe going to be killed this one, that's got to make you pretty happy for later on.
Yeah, I don't think I kill this one, but when I start fighting them later, I may be feeling that. What did I say about the Snowman earlier? Feeling that petty vengeance.
Well, they are.
There's our frequencies for the red dragon. 50% heal, 75% hurt was really fantastic to see for a red dragon. Of note, muchParanoia is on level 10 and still no healing spells, so a little bit tough even with this AI to take down a red dragon yet. But yeah, that's going to be coming soon. VaeluV is going to head back over to Breckenary maybe to just refresh on the herb supply, because he was unable to initiate that gold grind, so doesn't have a whole lot of gold here. But
Yes, I don't know how much grinding we're going to need to do because the stats are really good. But, I mean, even if for nothing else, if they show up in Sharlock, you are absolutely thrilled that they're going to cast Hurt 75% of the time. You're going to have the armor by then, so Hurt's value doing even less than it already is doing now. And, who cares if they run block you 8 times, they hurt you for 3 damage each one of those 8 times. It's not threatening, so...
Oh yeah, the Red Dragons definitely brought the fuzzy cuffs today. They were just not very threatening.
And the grave actually was in the basement, and I didn't see what happened with VaeluV on that, because he had popped in and out of the treasury in and out of the throne room just in case maybe he could set up the gold grind that way, but it looked like he just exited as well. So yeah, grave, if there wasn't gold in the treasury, you could look for gold maybe in the grave to do a gold grind that way. But
yeah, I exited the castle. I exited the grave and the castle just to set up that gold grind because I had seen silver shields. I think I completely forgot where they were, but we'll see in a moment.
Yeah, Vale popped in there and saw it was the grave, but I don't think he had a light source, and he might have ideas of going the whole way down, so I think he wanted to go get light sources before he went back there. But he did take a note that it was the grave, and now he can reverse do. He can do like
and that would explain the trip back to Breckenridge to buy some more torches, and yeah, so there's a silver shield right here in Breckenridge as well, actually.
Yeah,
unable to afford the hand axe, but he gets a copper sword.
Yeah, so I imagine he might try to reverse the gold grind maybe out of the grave or something, and sounds like, yeah, right, muchParanoia. I definitely remember you seeing it in Cantlin, so that might be we might have some silver shields coming up in a...
Yeah, it's interesting because both dungeons have already been found, so and they have keys, so most of the chests in the game will be opened, in the first half hour of the race already, and already have the harp and the stones. So yeah, exploration's been going actually pretty quickly here, especially after getting that hurt more on a relatively early level. Seems to be a pretty quick seed so far. So VaeluV is heading back, and is going to pop in and out of the throne room here just to make sure.
Him. There's a bunch of gold in the grave, so he's not going to do it that way. He's going to go open the chest in the grave first for the surefire way. But if he had opened the chest in the treasury and then gone into the grave, he would have been able to set up a gold grind that way too.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a little bit tricky when you don't have the outside spell, because you're not sure if you're going to end up dying like in the dungeon and that sort of thing. But there was gold in the treasury, so
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's tricky, right? Like you said, I didn't think of that, but also you don't even know if there's gold in the grave, so it was a risk either way.
Right.
Uncle Wizrobe here giving me the business.
Wizrobe, love it.
We saw on Vale's side they had a hurt, so I thought maybe you might get this guy just because he'd be nice to you, but it doesn't look like he's being nice to you at all.
Oh no,
Last herb was just
they punched real good.
Yeah, muchParanoia used all the herbs that he had. Not able to take down the wizard. Getting close to level 11. VaeluV just reaches level 9 here and gets the chests. So we have the key and some gold, like you mentioned before. So 2 gold chests and a key. That key will enable him to travel further down into the dungeons kind of for free, because there is a door there to make it further down, but just got an extra key. And see if he wants to go there immediately. Looks like he's going that direction. So see what's towards the bottom. You never know. You still haven't found that sword. Even though the harp and the stones have been found, you still don't know if the token is in a chest in this one, and the sword is still out there. So might as well do this now while you're here. I think VaeluV managed to full clear Mountain Cave, correct? Or did he not get to that last chest? I'm trying to remember.
I want to say he full cleared it, but I can't remember what was in the last chest, so I'm not 100%.
I think he got ambushed by a knight.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the knight.
Okay. But he cleared the tablet cave, and he's gotten 4 out of the 5 chests in mountain cave. So yeah, I mean, there's not too many more chests left. There'll be 3 in Garanham if they find that. But yeah, going down into the basement here makes perfect sense. And here's that red dragon with the nice AI.
About to get the good news on Vale's side. Yep.
And with 52 agility, it's going to be like somewhere around a 30% chance to run. He finally does get away. So, and he's going to use some herbs to top off now, making sure he stays above 78 in case he runs, or above 72 in case he runs into that knight again.
Oh yeah, would you like 35 more NP?
This point, probably yes. That's a pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, you don't have heal more yet, but that's a lot of heal mores when it does show up. Oh, there's our first cursed belt. So actually, as you were kind of alluding to, we don't need that many things out of treasure chests anymore. We need, the sword, of course, and maybe a fighter's ring or something. But I think our runners now need to shift to those 3 overworld search spots to look for our token, armor, and fairy flute. So we need to find, we need to find Cole, Hawksness, and muchParanoia already has seen Cantlin. Now that he has keys, he can go back at the coordinates too. So
yeah, I was just gonna say he's got the exploration knowledge there that where Cantlin is, and now that he has keys, could go take care of that. You're absolutely right though, and they haven't seen a lot of towns close by. It was kind of a trek for muchParanoia to see the caves or the towns way over there on the second continent. Breckenary not too useful in terms of search spots. So yeah, that could be the story of this one, is just how far away Cole and Hawksness are.
Ooh, there goes a red dragon down on muchParanoia's side. There's some of that, what do you call it, petty vengeance, you call it?
Oh yes.
Yeah, and then also too, remember we need 2 other caves as well. We still have to trade in the harp for the Staff of Rain. Haven't seen that anywhere. And we have to take all that stuff to the Jerk Cave and get it turned into the Rainbow Drop. So we definitely have some exploring to do. The treasure chests are not that important. And again, it's funny saying like, oh, we can just pick up Erdrick's sword whenever, but with Hurtmore, we pretty much can. There's no rush on that. So it's much more about those locations now than the boxes.
So just an herb in the bottom chest, and VaeluV was walking around maybe trying to find a death warp here to set up that grind. There doesn't seem to be too many really strong monsters. In fact, he took a swipe at a blue slime a minute ago. So you notice that most runners will eventually start running away from the really weak monsters, since it's slightly faster of an encounter to just run. But yeah, we're getting wolves and specters, nothing that's going to be causing too much harm. I think he's picking up the easy experience while it's here. And then if he finds a really, a big monster, then he'll just take the death warp so that he'll get that gold grind going.
Yeah, he's also closing in on level 9, or level 10, is at 1500, so he might as well grab it. I think this Druin will give it to him exactly. But yeah, good that both of them are picking up that. Looks like they're on their way to the Silver Shield, because while most of the stats are good, the agility kind of meh. 66 on muchParanoia's side, 11 is okay-ish, but the Silver Shield will mitigate a lot of those problems.
And muchParanoia also finishes up the grave now, reaches the bottom chest just before running into the red dragon. So has full knowledge of what was in the grave, and can just, if this red dragon will actually ever swing at him, he could take the death warp right now and set up that grind as well. VaeluV seems to be walking all the way out because he can't find an enemy to send him home either. And dual red dragon death warps ensuing for our runners. But wait, this one goes down. 255 experience. Wow.
Yeah, usually you're thrilled to see a red dragon when you're trying to death warp, but these red dragons literally cannot get killed by a red dragon. It's kind of annoying maybe at this point because they're trying to die, but it has got to be great. You're thinking ahead to Sharlock, like, this red dragon literally cannot kill me.
And this one unfortunately casts heal, that 25%. It was 50% chance for heal. VaeluV almost took it down 12 or 13 damage at a time, but then it heals, and it does send him home without getting the benefit of the experience. But I think he's happy with the death warp.
Yeah, on the 2.5 battles we saw, I think that was the first attack we had seen. Maybe we hadn't seen them. We hardly seen them attack at all. Even 25% it seems. So.
Oh, there's one.
I was trying to die, but it's like, if you want to give me like 255 experience, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, a lot of times people will throw like a, throw the
The chest glitch just said Erdrick Sword, and then so he double checked his status window, and it was not in fact the Erdrick Sword. He had opened
Oh,
these
that's
chests
mean.
earlier, so that was probably a little bit of confusion. Like, wait a minute, I don't think we got the sword here, did we? And then, yeah, so that was kind of amusing. But he's got the gold grind going, and we're gonna have dual gold grinds kind of simultaneous. Oh, same thing for muchParanoia. Wait, did we just get the sword? That doesn't make sense. And in fact, I
Yeah.
don't think you had seen the chests earlier, right? You didn't go in here earlier, so that must have been like, ooh.
The Stones of Sunlight are,
But you did double check your status window,
yes,
now that
because
you
I'm just
don't
like,
have the sword.
in fact, we both had checked this for the Stones of Sunlight earlier, and then we both opened our menu to look because, like, what?
Yeah, that was kind of bizarre. All right, so Silver Shield money for VaeluV, and muchParanoia printing more money. And using the fairy water to try and get away from some of these.
I guess he does have hurt more, but boy, I
Oh,
really like saving, but
look at that. There's just a faster way to get to Reckonary. You just go west through the swamp instead of going
Oh.
up and around.
Yeah, loops, interesting. All right.
And he successfully makes it to town. So big shield upgrade coming for VaeluV, and muchParanoia going for more money.
I had seen magic armor by this point, so that's probably why.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had seen a bunch of goodies in Cantlin and Remolder too, so you might be able
Yeah,
to get more than
Remolder
just
had the
Silver Shield
magic
out of
armor.
this.
All right, so that's plus 20 defense power for VaeluV, bringing him up to just 54 defense power since, leather armor doesn't provide a whole lot of defense, but still that will repel the weak enemies while still putting, the Magiwyvern and the Knight and that sort of thing in play for hurt more targets. So that's kind of a nice upgrade to the Silver Shield at this stage here.
Yeah, and of course, eventually we're gonna add the Erdrick's armor to our inventory, and that's gonna shoot that defense power way, way up. So it's decent now, and it'll only get better.
What do you think about this little the way this map is near start with all these rivers and bridges and stuff just to get anywhere? It's yet another example of the latest version of Randomizer has really changed how these maps look, and I kind of like it. This is the way this map is starting out is pretty fun.
Yeah, and I'm noticing I'm just like ignoring Mountain Cave for a bit, and there goes VaeluV straight back in, because again, I think he got blindsided by a knight.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I mean, I don't know what you were thinking at the time, but at this point, boxes aren't really that important. So the other exploration ends up being more important. So Mountain Cave can actually kind of be put on hold.
So muchParanoia question right now. You're on level 12, and at least on level 11, as on our tracker, you didn't have a heal spell yet. What are you thinking when you go this late into a seed like this and you just still don't have any way to heal yourself? It seems like it's not slowing you down too much right now, but that still has to be a little bit of frustrating.
I think that depends on the seed, really. Some seeds are like you would really need that heal more real early to like not for the seed to not feel like a slog. This one I was just like running through and hurt more and everything. Uh, like red dragons were not even a threat, so
Yeah, you're right. That's like the one big enemy that seems to be popping up a lot, and since it's not able to defeat you guys, the healing spell doesn't seem to matter so much right now. So so we have a fighter's ring here for VaeluV, so +2 attack power, and I thought that he had gotten up to these upper chests already, but he seems to be... Oh, he had skipped the first one. He was just trying to get off that floor. Maybe there were some enemies he didn't like, so he went into the second floor first on the last trip. So now he just got the top floor chest. Okay, and I think there's one chest remaining down here.
Yeah, one thing that muchParanoia's got going on his side that I really like is that he gets his Silver Shield, but now he's in Cantlin, so he can also go grab the coordinates at the same time. Always nice you can get two things done at once like that.
Yeah, and the magic armor is nearby, although he doesn't have enough money right now for magic armor. So maybe he saw a full plate or thought he saw a full plate. So, but yeah, I exactly what you said, and the token and the armor haven't been found yet. So getting these coordinates will be very productive right now. So coming here for the equipment and the coordinates, as you mentioned.
And I mean, looking over on muchParanoia's side on level 12, and even Vale's side, they kind of do have a heal spell. I think it's called 130 HP, which is already Death Necklace eligible. I don't know if we're going to need it or not. You start thinking about, if muchParanoia threw the Death Necklace on right now with the hand axe, he'd be at 109 attack power. We may not need the sword, actually. I'm not sure I've ever seen a hand axe Dragon Lord 2, but we're a couple levels away from it being maybe possible.
I know, that is amusing. Yeah, the strength score of 84 actually, in some cases, would be enough to win. So, yeah, they were like probably one level away at most. I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, with the Death Necklace, it does seem like go time already, doesn't it? So there are the coordinates 90 and 4.
And then I immediately decide to die.
VaeluV did pick up that 5th chest and didn't seem to be anything consequential. He doesn't have outside, though, so he's walking all the way back out of the mountain cave.
Yeah, it was just gold in there. And yeah, muchParanoia, I think the death is the way to do that because, you don't have any way to heal unless you eat a whole bunch of herbs or whatever. But also seeing those coordinates, they're probably not countable. I think they're on swamp. I don't think you even walk 90 north. So probably about time to go rescue the princess after you see those coordinates, right?
Yeah, I think you're correct there.
And the swamp cave is right nearby, right? They already know where that is. So that might be a thing to do kind of right away while you're passing through, or even just, take her home right away. So see if muchParanoia goes in that direction. I think, like you said, that all these search spots are kind of priority since they already have the harp and the stones. So
yeah, with Hurtmore, you're good chance to take out the spike tile, or if it's a red dragon, it literally can't kill you, or Stone Man or something like that. You stop spell it. The other nice thing too is if you get the princess, you start looking at the coordinates. As you're walking to the coordinates, trying to get to your 90 north, 4 west, you might stumble across Cole, you might stumble across Hawksness. This is going to take you out exploring anyway, so you might as well rescue the princess and go get this search spot taken care of while you're doing the exploring you would have done.
Yeah, and you're right. Right now there's 6 possible enemies that could be there, and the only one that would be a problem right now is if it was a golem. And even then, they do have reasonable attack power. I think they would still have trouble with a golem here, but all 5 of the other monsters are defeatable, and they're worth a pretty good amount of experience. And you can get the princess, like if you had her item with you in your travels, you can sort of maybe pick that up on the way when you're on the other side of the world there. So. Yep, that's what we're thinking is the play. And let's see, muchParanoia is in a dark place. Is this swamp cave for him also?
No, that's VaeluV.
Or yeah, I'm sorry, VaeluV. Where is he?
I think he's
in swamp cave.
Okay.
No, this is when I go in. I guess this is when I decided to go into mountain cave and clean it out.
Oh, right, because it's right there. Yeah.
Yep, you still haven't found the sword, obviously, so there's plenty of reason to go in and open all these chests. So makes sense to do it while you're thinking about it, and it's right here. You can always go get the princess after this. And I think this might be VaeluV's first trip to the second continent. I don't remember him being over here before. So he still hasn't seen Cantlin or Rimuldar.
Nope, but he has keys, so once he goes to Cantlin, he'll be able to get the coordinates as well, at least.
Yeah, and he does seem to be hugging the left coast here, which is the way to get to Cantlin. You have to go up and around to the west. And taking on wizards already. I think he was able to block the spell, although it turned out to just be a hurt spell anyways. So going after wizards, these guys are able to fight lots of enemies already.
Yeah, looking at muchParanoia's stats, if he finds an Erdrick sword, and if he were to use the Death Necklace, which he's about to find, it looks like in Mountain Cave, he'd be all the way up to 136 attack power, which would definitely be go time if he had all, once he gets all the quest items done. So the stats are in really good shape here.
Yep. The only issue would be if that agility score is scary, but as you mentioned before, the Red Dragon being completely easy is one of the major, like, you can go in with much worse agility scores and not have to worry about it too much if, like, the toughest enemy to run from in the game is not going to be an issue. So yeah, if you don't want more agility, like, the stats are already there. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're definitely going to keep picking up levels as they wander around too, just hurt more and stuff, right? So, they're probably not, I'm assuming they're not going to dive on 12, but, they could. Like, they don't even need more stats. Once they find all the quest items, it'll pretty much be go-to.
And I know for me and my style in particular, this situation where you could actually win on level 12 is kind of to my disadvantage because I like to grind for experience. Ryguy, what do you think here? I mean, this is coming down clearly to just a race of exploration now. The experience lead that muchParanoia had early, it just doesn't really matter anymore. It's all about who can find everything faster now because we can go on such an early level. So, like, what do you think about that in general, and what would you be, like, focusing on here? Do you start running away from certain enemies? It's all about covering the map here.
Yeah, like in Hurtmore Seas in general, I love doing the exploration first because I feel like you can always find stuff to get experience off of. In general, I like doing the exploration first and trying to get to that grind phase as early as possible because you make up a lot of time there. In this specific case, I think if I'm wandering around, if I find like a muchParanoia, this guy, a rogue scorpion, yeah, we'll hurt more that, blast it away, sure. I wouldn't waste time with things like wizards that you have to sit there and attack over and over again, all that sort of. Even though they have hurt, I'd probably just run from them. But if something wants to be destroyed by the Hurtmore spell, I'll oblige. But otherwise, I think I'm taking off.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think on all those counts, you don't want a battle to last more than one turn in this case. VaeluV picked up a copper sword earlier and now goes and picks up a hand axe, so a couple of weapon upgrades in town. Just trying to figure out what's here. He's got some money to burn, chainmail upgrade as well, and I expect him to go get the coordinates next. Or maybe check the third shop. Not sure if he's maybe looking for a broadsword, but nope, decides now it's time to go get the coordinates. So while he's doing all this, muchParanoia getting even more levels and finishing up with Mountain Cave having to walk all the way out since they haven't learned outside. But I mean, the leveling is it's amazing how quickly they're already in go time here.
Vale got a really bad herb and he can't make it to the old man.
Oh, that's incredible. That is a pretty bad fortune there. Oof.
I didn't catch what his HP was when he used that herb, but that's really bad. You get stuck on 29 HP by an herb.
Yeah. The one thing, I think we're still looking at 12, and muchParanoia is on 13, but I assume we still don't have Heal More, and that is going to be required to finish the seed. So I think I spoke a little too soon. I think there still is a good point in what you said about running from some monsters and not worrying about experience, but we do need Heal More, so it's possible that they'll have to go all the way to 16.
Oh right, Heal More is important, huh? Yeah, I still prefer in seeds like this the same thing. Like get to the grind phase as soon as possible. I would not want fights last maybe more than 2 turns. Like sure, hurt more of this Armor Knight away and grab his experience, but I don't want to sit around for 3, 4, 5 turns while the wizard casts heal over and over again or any of that mess.
I'll tell you, like I had a practice seed about a month ago or I think it was even maybe a casual race where it was this exact scenario where the stats were there super early and the whole thing felt like a jet seed and we had hurt more. And so like we basically never died. The battles were super easy. And it was one of the few times I actually made the mistake of going all the way to the Dragon Lord and just I didn't have Heal More. And it was like, it never crossed my mind because the actual seed was so easy. Like we never needed healing for any reason. Probably had Erdrick's armor, in the first 5 minutes, you're heal walking and stuff all the time. You just never even feel like you need to heal. And even Sharlock was like that, just got through it like as if it wasn't even there. So it was like, just didn't even dawn on me that we didn't have Heal More. So
yeah, I mean,
once in a while, it's a thing.
This seed's been really funny in that, like, usually if you go to 13 with no healing, we're making note of it all the time. Oh my gosh, the runners must be dying for healing. Oh, come on, where's our healing? And we've barely mentioned it here because they really don't need it, do they? Like, they have hurt more, they can blast things away, they have 130 HP. It's not necessary yet.
Note also that they've been doing it without Erdrick's armor, so it's going to be even easier when they're heal walking all across the map. But yeah, we've got to get to these search spots for sure. Haven't seen Cole, haven't seen Hawksness, and the coordinates are pretty far away and haven't been tracked down yet. VaeluV still hasn't gotten the coordinates. So still plenty to do in order to get the armor and the token. I'm trying to think if the token could still be in a chest at this point. We've seen most of the chests. I think Garenham still has 3, and there might be 1 or 2 other ones. But do you have a thought, muchParanoia?
I was just going to point out the mini boss blocking the rescue of the princess is a golem.
Oh, I thought you were death warping out a mountain cave. That was a golem guarding the princess. I missed that.
I'm going to call commentator's curse on that one, since I mentioned the golem about 10 minutes ago as being the one enemy that they still can't really kill. And in fact, that's the enemy guarding the princess. So a little bit of a wrench in the works there. We're going to either be counting 90 steps or we're going to be waiting for heal more here. So that's fun. Maybe they won't actually need to get those coordinates, but chances are it's going to be the armor or the token. It could still be the flute.
I missed. I remember in chat now seeing it. You could technically count this because you can see Swamp North from where Swamp South spits you out. Like, you can see the 2 sides of Swamp on the same screen, so it's technically countable. I'm not sure I want to count 90 North, but it's technically possible. You do have a reference point, but it'd be a really tough count.
Yeah, I'll leave that up to all you guys that don't want to do those kind of counts. I've become more and more of a fan of just rescuing the princess. That would just kind of counter to the way that a lot of the really fast runners seem to be going, where they want to just count everything. To me, it's like if you can get the princess just kind of on the way and it's like no big deal, it's just makes life so much easier in many cases, especially now that the maps are starting to get like with more rivers and more windy paths, and we have 2 continents pretty often. So there's the coordinates for VaeluV. But I don't know. What do you think, Rye Guy? Are you pro princess rescue or anti?
I mean, it is technically countable, but there's a big difference between being able to count it and it being fast to count. Like, I tend to like rescuing the princess because I kind of agree with you. I think it's usually faster, but that's mainly because I'm a slow counter, apparently. I mean, I know some people like Mr. Holmes don't count like tile by tile and do something like, I don't know, they're counting like screen by screen. No, that's 16, that's 32, that's this, that. So they blast through the counts. But yeah, the princess is the safe way to do it. There's nothing worse than counting off, 94 tiles and finding nothing and being stuck there. Like, great, now I'm going this little spiral, hoping. And it's just the worst. So if I can, absolutely princess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's times when Swamp Cave is maybe like really far away and that's the last thing that you found or whatever, and just the princess isn't really available. But if it's like really close by like this, where you're basically walking by it to get anywhere, I mean, why not just get the princess on one of your trips through, unless it happens to be guarded by a golem, which you actually can't kill. So that's what the runners are dealing with now. muchParanoia trying to do other things, getting 1 more of the chests out of the way there with the Stones of Sunlight Cave, which did not yield anything. So we're running out of treasure boxes, right? Still haven't seen Garenham, I don't believe. And what else haven't they seen yet?
I think that's it. So I think
Tablet Cave was done. Rimuldar was found by muchParanoia, so he got that box. I think it's just the three chests in Garenham, and if the sword isn't there, then it's going to be in Charlock.
And I think the good news here is that they both check bottom of the grave, so they both know for sure. Oh, it looks like Vale gets the bad news about the goal and the coordinates that muchParanoia told us about a minute ago. And they'll know for sure the sword's in Charlock. There won't be that like, oh, is it Charlock or is it Garen's grave? So they can maybe plan some, grind to whatever, get the sword, win the game all in one trip instead of having to make like a separate sword dive, maybe.
Or, like you said, especially if maybe they find a broadsword in their travels or something, it's feeling like we may not even need the sword here. in this seed. And going into the Sherlock Treasury and opening all those boxes, on average it takes about 45 seconds, believe it or not, by the time you actually get back out onto the path where the crossroad is. So if you can skip that trip because the stats are just so crazy, that might be a thing in this seed. Hand axe might be a little low, but if there's a broadsword somewhere, they seem to be carrying more than enough money for that in most cases. I don't know. That'll be fun to see if we get more and more stats before learning heal more, which is required.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the stats. The broadsword's only +5 over the hand axe, so currently we wouldn't be able to. Even with the death necklace, we go up to 117. But yeah, I mean, we've seen high power gains, so much paranoia about to pick up 14. If 14 decides to bestow them with 23 power again, then absolutely we could do a broadsword.
You know what? It's even more curious about how easy they're making a way through this map, and the fact that they haven't really found very many towns either. We're still looking for coal and Hawksness, which of course doesn't help in terms of being an inn there, but and Garenham. So that they kind of need these towns to get to these search spots pretty soon. We're going to start getting to where we're going to be over leveled, and we also need the. You said before, I think, have we seen either of the shrine caves yet? Because
nope, not
still
yet.
plenty of exploring left to do.
Yeah. One's got to be in Garenham. I feel like I've seen these seeds a bunch before, and I feel like what we've got probably north of Garenham, I want to say, because I don't think there's much other map to explore. We're going to see a big cluster of towns, maybe even that cave outside. So we're going to see 3 towns all clumped in a little circle with maybe, a cave right in the middle of them. All that stuff's going to be in the same part of the map, I bet, because we've looked at a lot of the map, and this stuff just all has to be piled into one tiny little corner of the map somewhere. And so,
and Healmore has learned. Healmore has learned at level 14, Rye Guy. So much paranoia is in a tricky situation that doesn't come up often, but he is completely done with stats, and he has a lot of exploration to do. He needs the Shrine Cave for the staff, needs the Rainbow Drop Cave, needs to find coal and Hawksness. Maybe wants to track down these coordinates, doesn't even have the princess yet. There's kind of a lot to do for a situation where you already are ready to fight the Dragon Lord. Much paranoia. Were you feeling a little stressed about that at this time?
Not really. I don't remember being particularly stressed during the siege.
Well, just in terms of feeling like there's so much more that you still haven't found, because if you have the exploration lead, at this point it doesn't even matter, right? It's all about who's going to find the towns and caves first now.
And speaking of, we've got a Hawksness
and here's
sighting.
One town.
Heal more and hurt more. This is like a guaranteed win on the spike tile, right? Little low on resources, but still.
That really depends on the encounter, right?
And if something happens here and finds himself back home, he's ready to take on that golem as well if he wants to go get the princess.
I'll risk the curse. Even if it's a golem, I think you got this. I'm sorry if you die to a golem. Yay! It won't be my fault.
Oh no, I looked real hard at this and went, you're dying.
Like I said, I think you're even good against a golem, but this thing, is not going to stop you very much at all, is it? Ooh, look, they have 25% baby breath. That's useful for Sherlock, too. I don't know if you saw it ever, but that's nice.
I mean, it did just breathe on me. And then we find the fairy flute, which made that golem incredibly free.
So the fairy flute means that it's very it's going to be required now to go seek out those coordinates, because since the old man does give coordinates, it means that something has to be there, and that something now can only be the armor or the token. So one of those two things will be 90 to the north from the castle, and so either he's got to find his way there the old-fashioned way, or he's going to have to go get the princess by going to get the golem. So plenty of homework still remaining for much paranoia. And I guess this is probably a death warp situation, just getting a couple of more kills in, and you have probably that golem in the swamp cave on your mind, which is close to start.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was up to. I was going to burn off those last couple of Hurtmores and then go do a little bit of more exploration.
Yep, okay. Yeah, because it's so interesting already having the stats here. So, and you are now running from a lot of the medium-sized enemies instead of fighting them. So maybe just looking for the shrine caves, the staff cave, that kind of thing. And we find coal, so another search spot.
Not quite all in a cluster, but close by. Oh, there you go. There you go.
And this is interesting now, Rye Guy, because this means that Garanham doesn't have to be found because the token has to be at those coordinates now. So
but Garanham is going to have one of our shrine caves in the back. So it is kind of weird. But we do have the coordinates first, right?
Have we seen all the other
I think we have, haven't we?
I mean, other caves? Okay.
Either Jerk or Shrine, right?
You're missing Herp and Jerk Cave. So one of them has to be in the back of Garanham.
Yeah, so it's not required. You're right. It's not required for the boxes unless the sword's there.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had seen all the other caves. So absolutely, yep. You're going to need Garanham for one of the two
I think,
old man situations.
I like returning here, and I like picking up the princess and getting it because you want to have the token on hand so that when you find the Staff of Rain Cave, you trade it immediately. When you find the Jerk, you trade it immediately. None of this back and
exactly.
forth.
Exactly. Very, very good point there.
I'd like to draw your attention to something. Neither of us have the outside spell.
Yeah, that's sometimes pretty frustrating.
Or the heal spell, because that's the one that's going to wait to level 16 to show up.
Both spells of convenience that are definitely better to have them than to not have them. And VaeluV does find his way all the way to Hawksness. I didn't realize he had explored that far out on the map. That we're going to get on fairly low resources now. Does take down the Armored Knight. Doesn't miss on the Hurtmore. So he's going to get himself the Fairy Flute for his troubles. And if he can make it all the way up to the north, he'll have a chance to get the armor, but completely out of resources now. So it's dependent on encounter luck and run luck at this point. And I'm not sure if he's got any herbs left either. And here's a werewolf.
Oh, looks like he's taking a death orb.
Werewolf, no.
You know,
the armor was right there.
I don't mind this on Vale's part because he doesn't know Cole's up there. And I think what he was thinking was he saw the Fairy Flute. And I think he's thinking, let's just get right on back. Let's Death Orb. Let's get right on back to the Swamp Cave. Let's get the princess. Let's get these coordinates because he doesn't know. You know, Cole might not even have the armor.
That's what I was thinking. muchParanoia was doing too, just trying to take the Death Orb out of there immediately. The thing is, though, sometimes you're so far out on the map, you want to like explore that region while you're there, and like not necessarily that he knew that Cole would be there, but he also still needs the Staff of Rain Cave, for example. So like and he has the harp. So if it was right there, if any of those things are right there, it's kind of like, you know, useful to get it while you're out there. But
yeah, I always like to just like see if the coordinates are going to take me somewhere. So I guess that's why I like it. You know, you go look at the search spot. He like you said before, he knows it's going to be required somehow, and you know, for all he knows, maybe Cole is one step away from the search spot, or maybe it's on the same screen as the staff. So yeah, I kind of like that. And then I don't know, he can always double back to that area, I guess too. But I kind of like going for the coordinates here, even though in this case it turns out to be not the right way to go.
So muchParanoia just continuing to fight enemies here, and I'll be curious if he ever ends up getting 15, if that will maybe lessen the need to find Erdrick's sword. And I guess Erdrick's sword, I was talking about the boxes not being required in Garanham. We could still have the sword there as well. But, you know, it just seemed like the sword may not end up being required here, although I don't know that we've even seen a flame sword, and neither runner even has a broadsword, so still kind of want the Erdrick sword. Princess rescue happening now.
I missed the Fairy Flute. Very good, very good.
Makes it a little bit easier to kill a golem when he's sleeping.
Yeah, thank goodness for that outside spell. Well, I guess you could run if you had to, but yeah, without that outside spell, the Fairy Flute helping to get the second golem out of the way for sure.
By the way, VaeluV doesn't have a heal spell here, so he's hoping that this golem stays asleep. And it does. So, interesting that he does have the flute and manages to take down the golem, even though he's unable to heal, so.
Yeah, so hopefully Vale uses the run strategy there.
Yeah,
For
with
the
the
second
flute,
one.
you could use the flute, put it to sleep, and then run and try and walk out of this dungeon without the outside spell and see if you can make it. If he still has one of those wings, he can wing home with the princess. So this could still be happening, but right now he's about to pick up 14 and the heal more spell. So all that is a little bit moot.
Healmore could not have picked a better time for Vale.
Yeah.
And muchParanoia is going to need a level 2, so we are going to see 50.
All right, so muchParanoia is still looking for shrine caves, but he has found coal and the armor, so is going to need to track down these coordinates for the token, and one of the shrine caves, as we mentioned, is going to be in Garenham, so he needs to find Garenham, the other cave somewhere, and these coordinates. And VaeluV has those same tasks, but he also needs to get back up there to coal for the armor.
Yeah, the sword may not technically be required. If we get some more stats on 15, I miss 15 by a few experience points, so muchParanoia will get it shortly. Sword may not be required, but if we find the sword, especially if it's in Garenham or something, we don't even need a death necklace, and then it becomes a super safe fight. It's probably pretty safe with the death necklace, but it's ridiculously safe if you don't have the death necklace. If you get the sword and shoot it up to 135, you're in ridiculously good shape. You're getting ridiculous numbers of doubles. You're in great shape against the Dragon Lord. So we might not even have a death necklace by the time this ends.
Yep, I would agree with that. It's really fun to see the stats just already in the green, and we're on relatively early levels. I just know for me, when I'm in a race like this, it bothers me because I'm not usually one of the more aggressive explorers of the map, and so when I feel like I still have 5 or 6 things I have to do, and I'm ready to fight the Dragon Lord, I'm like, oh man, I lost this race. But muchParanoia doesn't seem to be concerned about that. And almost about to find Breckenary now, but he says he never found it. It's
I think I don't go south enough to see it.
It's so.
Or if I
so
do, I
interesting.
enter it. I see it, and I'm very annoyed.
Aren't we all? Actually, in this case, it'd be good, right? If you do see it, it'd be good that it's Breckenary because it's so close to the castle. You'd have to be really worried if it's like Garenham with the sword. I'd be freaking out that I missed the sword, and my opponent got it 2 minutes in. So, in a weird way, Breckenary is the best possible town you could have found there because it's. I've done it before. It sucks to walk one screen side away from where the armor is, where the sword is. So.
Wait, nope. I found Breckenary. I looked at it. I left.
Okay, that explains that. You're definitely not looking for. Well, no, wait a minute. You did just see it, but you okay?
I looked at it. I'm like, wait, this is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, he walked in. And
But you
saw it
still
was
need
Breckenary.
Garenham, though, right?
Yeah, I do still
Did you
need
pop in?
Garenham. We have not seen Garen. I looked. I popped in. I looked at. I'm like, this is
Yeah,
not Garenham.
hoping it was Garenham. Like that would be like, oh, if this is Garenham, this is great. But no, just Breckenary. So back to the swamp cave you go. There actually isn't. I guess we didn't harp on it too much, but there's not much of this first continent, right? You have to go through that swamp cave repeatedly to get most of your exploration done. It seemed like, what was it? Pretty much just Breckenary and those 3 caves, and then you have to move on to the second continent.
But you know what we have been harping on? We've been harping on the need to find the Staff of Rain Cave to trade in the silver harp. Yeah, I couldn't resist. Sorry, I had to do that.
Yes. Harping on the harp.
Just could not.
Why do we have this
resist.
harp for so long? We started with the harp and we still have it.
Oh, I missed 15 over on muchParanoia side making my dumb harp jokes. That's what I get. Was it any good?
If I remember correctly, it was all right.
Yeah, it looks like it just had 2 more HP, but you don't really need HP. The strength is... Oh, there it goes. Oh, all right. It's a little bit of stuff. Looks
2,
like
2,
2
2, and
of-
0. So yeah, still
Yeah.
need the Erdrick sword at this point. Can't really win the. I don't think. I mean, a flame sword would probably make it close, but we haven't really seen one, and they can't afford one. So still would be good to find the sword. And muchParanoia seems to be going to 16. Still fighting enemies.
Yeah, again, if something wants to get hurt more by me, I'll be glad to hurt more it away. We can use Death Necklace if we really want to try to avoid the whole sword finding thing. But even with Death Necklace, we're only 122. So yeah, we're a little ways to go with the hand axe. Although part of me is really hoping that the sword's in Sharlock and we get to see someone go after the Dragon Lord with a hand axe, because that would be awesome. I've never seen that before. Oh, is it going to be right here on this weird little swamp thing?
No.
Yeah, castle is 10 to the west, so he's actually got to get more west since we have to be west of the castle, and the castle is to the west, so got to go up and around, and
Oh, hey, look.
got to get all the way to 90 north as well, right? Is this one of the
took him right
shrine caves? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Runs into the Arp Cave. So you talk, Ryguy, about the coordinates leading to things, and he was following the coordinates, and boom, Staff of Rain Cave.
And even in the perfect order, he gets to trade in his Staff of Rain. He's going to go pick up the token on the coordinates, and you just got to search around for Garenham. And hey, look, I got all this stuff to give the jerk back here. Maybe I'll pick up a sword here too. I mean, that is a great order to find things.
Closing in on it, just a few steps away from the token here.
Yeah, as I said earlier, it is technically countable, but watching him walk this, I would never want to count this. I would get so lost and miscount it all over the place. This would be a brutal count to do. Definitely want to get that princess.
And I think this Arbor Knight jumbles me up for a moment.
Oh, do your hurt mores fizzle out?
No.
Just
okay.
messing up on your count and stuff, and you got to reapply the GPS again or something. Let's see.
Oh, that kind of messes you up. Got it. I thought you meant he like hits you hard or something.
Now you got to spend another 10 or 12 seconds doing the GPS. And like, oh, it's so frustrating. But you're very close here. So a little too far to the west. Got to make way back to the east now. And 4 steps to the east. I think just went the wrong way there. Getting our easts and wests mixed up.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
why can't you just tell me left and right, princess?
11 to the
Yeah,
east
there we
now.
go. I realize that. Well, I get very confused. Please, someone help me.
Now, yeah, the coordinates led muchParanoia up to the Shrine Cave, and they're going to lead Vale over the Shrine Cave also, but they're also leading him just west of the location of Cole. I believe Cole is just east of Cantlin, and I think Vale's missing it by a screen. So the coordinates leading you places works out in some ways, but for Vale, it's going to have him just miss out on the armor, it looks like. But yeah,
did he ever come back for the coordinates? I missed him coming back again for the coordinates.
I think he came back for it
now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he came back for the coordinates because he knew he had to go rescue the princess and do all that. If he didn't have the coordinates.
Oh wait, that's
true.
Limildar.
Yeah, dying 1 step away from the old man to get those coordinates is pretty brutal.
Yeah, especially he had the herb. He just needed the herb to give him 2 more HP, and it couldn't.
Got the lower herb roll. That is one of those situations where you really wish you had the healing spells earlier. And sometimes you forget to go get like 6 herbs from the herb shop before going down to the old man, and then you're halfway through and you're like, wait a minute, I'm going to have to start using herbs. And then just didn't quite have enough herbs.
Right. Or you think like, oh, I have 3. That'll be enough. Hey, this looks important.
Oh, there's the Staff of Rain Cave now for VaeluV while he's counting things out. And I think he's standing on the spot right now. There it is. So token for VaeluV, and let's pop in and grab the staff now. So things are heating up for this race, guys, because again, the experience doesn't matter. It's really all coming down to who can round up these items faster. They both are Dragon Lord eligible. And sword and Garenham, huh, right guy? Okay.
Yep. So Vale will miss out on the armor, but he's gonna be able to do this nice little circle too, where he gets his Staff of Rain, he gets his token. It's only a matter of time before he finds Garanham, gets the drop, gets the sword. But unfortunately, having just skirted the side of Cole's not gonna have the armor yet, so he's still got to go get that. But yeah, it is for sure go time.
But it's all right up here. Cole is like north of Cantlin, and he just went kind of west of Cantlin to go for these coordinates. And yeah, so
Yeah, I'm not sure how it loops around, but hopefully he does make it back over that direction.
yeah, going further and further away from the armor now, going south from the staff cave. So advantage muchParanoia is in go mode here. It is go time. Urgic Sword puts him up to 137 attack power now on level 15. And as you mentioned, don't even really need to be concerned about using the Death Necklace. This is just like overpowered, overleveled. Red Dragons and Charlock are not going to be a problem. This just like I can't imagine a scenario where the dive goes wrong here.
Yeah, the other nice thing too is even if something does happen, maybe an Armored Knight, hopefully I'm not going to curse you, I'm going to say good things, maybe an Armored Knight makes him burn a heal more or something, he can still strap on the Death Necklace, go up to 147 attack power, and then you only need like, 8, maybe 7 heal mores. So even if you have to burn a couple on the way down because bad things happen, you have that backup with the Death Necklace. If you get down there with full resources, I don't think I'd bother with it, but you can use it as a little insurance plan.
Yep, that's a good point. It's good to have it. And VaeluV had never found Rimuldar in his travels towards Cantlin, so he went ahead and opened the treasure box in the inn, got that information. That's one less place that the sword could be from his perspective. It's gonna go refresh on keys, got pretty low on keys by opening those 2 doors to get the 1 chest. And so now that's one less place that he has to find. And so VaeluV needs to go all the way back north of Cantlin for the armor, and he's going to need to find Garanham.
And answering Pantheros in chat, wouldn't Death Necklace make you kill it quicker though? It does make Dragon Lord fights go a little quicker. I forgot Lorgon was the one that was doing all those computations and stuff. I think it's like maybe only 1 or 2 turns or something like that. I think it's a few seconds, maybe 15, 20 seconds or something like that. So it does, but it's not a huge thing.
Yeah, and good point in chat that it takes a few seconds to listen to the music and whatnot of actually putting it on too. So going into your menu. So
Yeah,
unless it's going to save you like a couple of rounds of combat, it doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah, because on 141 you're getting doubles, and so you have to heal more less. So even though you're doing less damage, you get to attack twice instead of like attack, heal more, attack, heal more, attack, heal more. You get to go maybe attack, heal more, attack, heal more. If those 2 attacks do more than the 1 Death Necklace attack, then you might be saving a little time. And that won't happen all the time, but it happens enough that I think it's not a huge, it's a little bit of a time advantage, but not a huge time advantage.
So ValuV now in Garanham as well, and he has all the stuff, and he's going to trade in for the drop. He's got the sword now, Urgic Sword for ValuV, but he did not get that armor from Cole, and he's not in the right part of the world for that to happen. So muchParanoia, meanwhile, is going into Charlock now for the final dive.
Yeah, unless the Swamp Comet loops around and Vale can walk like off to the west and then north maybe to find it. Yeah, he's going to have to do a lot of backtracking if he wants to get over to Cole, unfortunately. We know that, of course, he doesn't. But
So muchParanoia, the way that your exploration went and, going into Charlock now, do you feel at this point in the race like you're behind or ahead?
I am not sure at this point, to be honest. Like, with how the seed went, it was all sorts of pretty free. It's just,
Yeah, it's just more of a matter. This one came purely down to exploration, so it's just a matter of like how much time you spent kind of taking wrong turns and running around in empty spaces, and how long it took to just find all the towns and caves. And it seemed like, you were actually doing pretty well with that. We see that obviously you were finding everything a little bit faster than your opponent at every step of the way. So I could see that your confidence could be pretty high here. And Charlotte does seem to be pretty free, so.
I don't know much paranoia. Honestly, if I was in your shoes, I don't know if I'd concern myself with the header behind. I would just be like feasting on Dragon Lord and wondering how many ways I'm going to chop him up.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I was doing. I was also cursing the Charlock encounter rate.
It's funny, I feel like we haven't actually gotten a whole lot of additional stats since level 12. We were pretty much ready to go level 12 except for heal more. So it's not like this fight's going to be like a 6-turn fight or anything. We still only have 137 attack power. It's like a regular fight here, but it's still, a really big advantage. But the way things were going, it seemed like we could have 160 attack power or something by now, right? But all the stats kind of leveled off after level 12.
Well, I don't know, up to you want to play the fun game of guess how many heal mores much paranoia is going to have left. I mean, I'm thinking. Hold on, let me look at this. I mean, he could have 3, maybe 4 heal mores left.
3 or 4. I'm gonna go with 4, and a little bit will depend on if he uses the death necklace or not.
Oh, very true.
And I think that it's actually, you will have less heal mores remaining if you do use the death necklace in this situation, because you don't get a lot of benefit from it when you're already at 137 attack power, and you'll have to be healing more often. So the fight would go slightly faster though. So it's, we'll have to see if he actually uses it, but I'm going to say if he uses the death necklace, he'll have 2 heal mores remaining, and if he doesn't use it, he'll have 3 heal mores remaining. That's my guess.
Yeah, I was thinking 4 with no death necklace, and maybe...
See how much chat disagrees with me.
Yeah, right, maybe 4 with no death necklace, and maybe 1 without death necklace, but it's still very, very safe either way.
Wait. So you're saying...
Oh, wait, did I say that wrong?
Less heal mores remaining without the death necklace?
Oh, did I say that wrong? No death necklace, you'd have, 4 left, I'm thinking, and with the death necklace, you have 1. Did I say that backwards?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I thought I heard it wrong, but okay. So 4, you think it makes that much of a difference? Yeah, I'm not sure. It would be fun to see.
Just a number of doubles, yeah. I mean, both are very safe, but I think you are... I think you're pretty much going to be attack, heal more with the death necklace. You're not going to get any doubles, I don't think, so...
Right.
You'd use up your heal mores, but you're going to fly through the damage, so... And while we've been talking about that, much paranoia, geez, you just flying through Charlock, huh? Nothing's concerning you at all. I mean, geez, there's no stress at all in this dive, is there? You're on the bottom floor already.
Not really.
Even the agility score got up into the green. Previously, we were talking about mid-60s for agility when we were first looking at stats. Now we're into the mid-70s, so going to be running for most of the enemies.
This blue dragon does not want to let me go.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen your HP under 100 even, so... Oh, there goes Vale. He found Cole. He found his armor. He's going to have a pretty equally calm dive. He's going to be behind, of course, but he's gonna have an equally calm dive, I bet.
Yeah, he'll be ready to go in immediately now. Armor upgrade, so he has everything as well. So just
that werewolf, a little pot shot there. He forced to use an herb, but that's okay.
And from here, he can walk all the way to Charlock. I think it's right as you pop out of the swamp cave, and so it's you're either just going to walk it from here, or you go back to start, and then you got to go through swamp cave. And I'm not sure. This feels like VaeluV is not walking in the right direction, but maybe I'm turned around. But here's the Dragon Lord fight for much paranoia. What was the mini boss?
It was a blue dragon. I popped on the death necklace because I just did not want to heal the full.
Okay, so there you go. You're on 2 and I'm on 1, huh? Let's see.
Yep.
I am a fool.
Big rolls. Some will be dependent on the DL1 fight.
Oh, I didn't think about that. If you herb up on the DL1 fight, you get an opening double. So 2 might have been a better guess after all.
Only 2 herbs here.
And DL1 was not cooperating.
Yep. Okay.
Still pretty safe though.
It's got a chance for a sub 90 minutes. Got a really good chance for sub 90 minutes on this seed. And VaeluV is in Charlock now, so not too far behind when all said and done, even though he seemed to fall behind in the experience lead right away, and because of that had was exploring most regions of the map, just, you know, a good 5 minutes behind, 5 to 10 minutes behind muchParanoia for most of the race, but has done some catching up and is 5 minutes from the bottom here.
Yeah, the coal thing was a big difference, right? Like, muchParanoia, you walking out of Hox's and going up and finding coal was huge, whereas Vale, of course, just
Absolutely.
went back, hit his coordinates, and had to double back over to coal. So that gained you a bunch of time.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, a lot of it goes right back to like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the race when they were encountering a bunch of scorpions with the fire breath and this and that. muchParanoia did a better job of finding the secondary zones, took down some Drakeemas and different things, and then Hurtmore was just right around the corner, and it just took VaeluV just like an extra 5 minutes at least to get to Hurtmore. It was just a matter of grinding through those first few levels, and it just never recovered from there. The lead was sustained right from gaining Hurtmore all the way through the seed.
Okay, we're coming up on 2 Healmores left. I haven't been counting.
Go! Swing hard! Big roll.
Oh, there you
go. Winner!
Dang, it was
2
so close.
Healmores remaining. Very good game, muchParanoia. Congrats on the victory. Finishing out strong with a 2-3 record in this tournament. So
very nice run.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Now it's the time to pull up the Dragon Lord stats.
Oh, near max HP.
Oh, that gives you a better chance to only have 1 Healmore. But no, had the good rolls. All worked out nicely. You have to listen to Gwaelin, but thou must. She's so happy. And thus the tale comes to an end. Official victory. Do you remember what the official time was? Because we're not actually running it live, of course.
Yes, actually, let me pull up this. Let me pull it up.
All right.
Official time was 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 26 seconds.
1:26:26, sub 90 for muchParanoia. Victory number 2. Good to have a couple of tournament wins. Hopefully, hopefully you enjoyed the tournament, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, with these maps, the exploration being so more difficult, and the coordinates being kind of trolly, they're difficult coordinates, and the princess behind that tough spike tile enemy. Man, a sub 130 is really good. That's a really nice run.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you have that situation when the coordinates are required like that, and it's a whole extra trip to go take care of that, it just adds significant time. So, I mean, they were ready to go stats-wise, but there was a lot of traversing back and forth on the map that had to be done.
Yeah, that was definitely not the easiest exploration.
VaeluV is going to finish it out. He is probably going to miss sub 90 minutes here, but doing his best to get there. Also having an equally easy time of it on the dive with the mid-70s agility score, seemingly not a problem. Has all the Healmores to work with.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was anything too scary in Sharlock. I did notice some reds and armors, I think, in the top zone, but this bottom zone looks pretty tame. I mean, the Stoneman did run block and throw a Hurtmore. The Werewolf we saw for muchParanoia run blocked and threw a DL2 breath, but we have plenty of extra resources. You know, both our runners took herbs in, so they're both fine.
And so while we are closing out VaeluV's run, make sure you guys follow these 2 runners. I know VaeluV runs a lot of Dragon Warrior 4 as well, and one of the Dragon Warrior 4 Rando fans, which is pretty cool.
That's the Ragnar sprite right there from Dragon Warrior 4, so yep.
Exactly. And he'll be approaching the Dragon Lord, so follow the runners. And we have Bobski on the restream and the tracking tonight, so thanks to Bobski for the coverage on this VODcast today.
Yeah, thanks to Bobski and Zarnax, and for you two up to NG for getting this together. This was kind of a different time and different thing, right? We're doing the VODcast versus the live cast, so really glad we could put this together. It's been a real fun race to watch and accomplish. And Vale, you put on the death necklace, so I have a chance. Come on, 1 Healmore left. Come on.
All right, maybe we'll each get one right. So
I can go 1 for 1 here.
Getting some good rolls though. I just saw a 17, so
Oh man.
Looking
Okay
for big
then.
rolls.
You got to go 1 or 3, Vale. Don't do 2. Don't let me lose twice. Come on now.
Get the big rolls. And he had 2 attacks on the opening instead of
Oh,
the 1
jeez.
that muchParanoia had. So we actually might have 3 heal mores remaining here.
All right, so I can't hope to win. I can hope to tie this one. Come on, 3. Come on, 3.
Oh, so
I tell you,
just coming up on an hour and 30 minutes here. So this actually turned out to be a relatively close race when it was all said and done. About 5 minutes difference between our 2 runners. So good competitive race. I like how the Swiss system works in that way, where you have, as you get later and later in the rounds, you get like more and more even matchups, you know, because you have similar records facing off. So round 5's been a lot of fun to watch because all the races are close for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, you know, through both Charlock dives, kind of laughing about it. Oh, how many Heomores you have left? Oh, come on. You know, you usually don't see that. Usually it's much more closer, much more tense, much more to struggle. So, you know, muchParanoia, how happy are you to see a nice, easy Charlock? Because that's, you know, experienced runners, all runners kind of hate Charlock sometimes. And this was pretty kind to you guys. Yes, 4.
You did have 4 on one of your guesses. That was awesome. Yeah. We'll get muchParanoia's thoughts on the Charlock. He had alluded to the fact when we started that this was a short Charlock seed, right?
Oh, he did. That's fair. Yeah, he did say. Oh, it's fair. He did say short Charlock. Yeah, it basically was, huh? Yeah, there you go. A little less than 5 minutes behind. So Vale, despite having a little tough time with the exploration and getting stuck up at the beginning and not getting hurt more as early, he kept it close. He's right in there.
Officially 1 hour 31 minutes 14 seconds. So yeah, GG for VaeluV as well. Congrats on a good run and for finishing out the tournament strong here with a nice run. Yeah, that was fun to watch. All the round 5 matchups have been good competitive races, fun to watch. I'm glad we were able to make sure that this one got on air. I know you guys had a little bit of scheduling conflicts arise at the last minute, and you were like, "Oh, we have to race right now, or we might not be able to squeeze this in, and later in the week." So that's why this didn't get aired the first time around. So it was kind of a quick last minute impromptu race, but that was fun to watch.
Yeah, once again, thanks to the guys behind the scenes setting up Zarnax for the restream and Zarnax and Bobski for restreaming and tracking, and you know, Bobski, I got to give you some GGs. Pointed out in chat, hitting that 10% on that 0.0 on the timer, 10% every time.
Nice. I thought we actually still had muchParanoia with us, but I don't see him anymore. So, yeah. So GG to muchParanoia for the victory. I don't know. I guess we'll wrap it up, right, guy. Let's check the schedule now, since we're currently broadcasting this on September 2nd. So we'll check the schedule for September here.
Yeah, that's right. This happened a week ago, and I got all my predictions wrong, so that's not good for me, huh? I think there were I don't think anything else was scheduled, but I think there were rumors that maybe something might pop up. We'll check and see if something did pop up. But yeah, meantime, while you're checking that, GG's to both these runners, because again, that was not the easiest exploration. It's very easy to get lost, or to, you know, I've got one location, it's tucked over here, and I've circled the map 5 times, and both runners, you know, had a really good exploration. Vale had a little tough time finding coal, but other than that, it was great exploration. They both finished in an hour and a half on a seed where, you know, the map was not the easiest. So definitely a good job for both runners, and yeah, I'm definitely glad we were able to get this VODcast going, because that was a really good race to watch.
So it looks like the next thing that's currently scheduled is we already have you posted for a commentary, Rye Guy. It's going to be the Mr. Holmes and High Spirits Clash of the 4-0s, running some really crazy flags, which maybe 5, you could explain that, but yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I know which one challenge level 5 is the one with no numbers, right? Or is that 10?
It's something that you won't want to miss. I'm sure it's going to be fun to watch. Something kind of outrageous.
One of them's no numbers, and one of them is like no sprites, and I can't remember which is which. But yeah, they're both pretty outrageous. That's going to be a very, very different race from what you're used to seeing. So
And just to quickly follow through, we have 2 races on Wednesday currently scheduled back-to-back, Amazing Toaster and Z-Man, and then Archfield, Monk, and Zarnax. And then the following day on the 5th, we have Nest Cardinality facing off against Angel FM, 2 of the runners with winning records. That's going to be some of Titans colliding kind of matchup there again. Same day, later in the evening, we have Lord of the Synth and Monsieur Slime. And looks like on the 6th on the schedule right now, we have Captain Green 7 with JJ Smid 77. And still a couple of races that haven't been scheduled just yet. So stay tuned for all that to round out these Swiss competitions before heading into the bracket stages for this tournament. So that's going to do it. Any final thoughts, Ragai?
Nope. Just again, want to thank you guys all for getting this all together. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little different take on Dragon Warrior Randomizer turn.
Yep. Sounds good. Yeah, that's going to do it. So stay tuned in the upcoming days for those races that we mentioned, and have a good rest of your holiday today, and we'll see you next time.